How long to turn flaming mountains
Dry as a bone.
into fertile soil?
Nice.
Green and gold lush mountains filled with chickens and fruit-bearing trees that make delicious juice.
非常好喝。12周年了。
12 years? How?
You can see why they're called the flaming mountains. The soil behind me looks very bright, but in a productive capacity, it's unfortunately very dull. It's because when you lose the trees, you lose the leaf litter that falls and then forms a blanket and traps in the moisture and that organic matter, which, as you can see, is not happening here. Dry as a bone.
Okay, I've always known soil erosion is a big deal, but climbing these barren hills, I've officially hit a whole new level of respect for the locals of Chongqing.
Ecologically damaged, but good for my health and fitness.
So we met ecologist Mr. Yue, who told me even the hardiest trees, like these red pines over there, are barely managing to hang on. And these poor little fellas here grow so slowly, just a few centimetres a year.
If it was growing in a proper place, how big should it be after 3 or 4 years?
正常它应该要长到7、8米高。
Oh, wow.
Mr. Yue explained to me Chongqing's deforestation situation resulted from waves of migration generations ago, depleting forest resources due to the rapacious need for timber, fuel and farming. Now the situation is far more sustainable. Just a few steps away, bam, a reforested hill straight out of Lord of the Rings, thanks to just a decade's worth of work. Postcard picture perfect.
治理之后呢，整个这个树种结构现在都不一样了。这边能看到一些阔叶树，还有原来的马尾松，还有地表的植被都更多了，所以整个生态环境也变好了。
So what's the solution? Fortunately, it's simple: trees and grass.
This is the soil that came from the dusty, eroded hills. This soil is what comes from beneath us here. When I try to grab the soil, there's so much root action going through that it's really hard for me to pick it up. And you can almost squeeze moisture out of it. And the smell, there's a rich pine smell coming through that as well. Smells more fungal, much more biological. That's life.
Speaking of life, it's not just about saving the planet, it's also about making it rain. These green mountains are now green dollar sign. In 2023, Chongqing pulled off China's first ever water and soil conservation carbon deal. 100,000 tons of carbon credits for 1.8 million yuan. That's $250,000.
Essentially, the carbon in the atmosphere around us, or the carbon dioxide, is being absorbed by the trees. These pipes going into the ground is a measuring tool, an apparatus to see how much carbon is being sequestered into the soil. That's then sold on the open market. So the clean, crisp air around us is making money. Profitability in purity.
现在更大的挑战是怎么将丽水经商变成经商营商，更好的服务于这个当地的群众，还有社会经济的发展。
Spoiler alert, the locals are already crushing it here at Fengying Eco Farm. Once a sad, desolate gravel pit, now a citrus paradise.
Dropping in the fruits.
General Manager Shen-Chu Chao makes sure we never go thirsty.
非常好喝 ，extremely delicious。
How have you noticed the local economy change in the last 10 years?
像我10几年前来的时候，吃那个猪肉的都是没有满足的。那现在这猪肉了，大家随便吃了。
Aside from pork, this region is famous for its Hetian chickens. I'm going to find out firsthand why they're so special.
Good morning. Hetian chickens, 1, link 0. We're going hungry today, sorry guys.
Testament to their condition, they're far too fit, healthy, and fast for me. Fortunately for Mr. Shen, he has plenty of professionals.
How many local villagers do you have employed working here at the farm?
平常我们大概就是50、60个、70、80个人，那再多的时候有200多个人。
A clear correlation exists between reforestation, residents' income, and regional GDP, all increasing. In the case of incomes, exponentially. Chongqing farmers' per capita income rose from about 2,500 yuan in the year 2000 to about 24,000 yuan in 2023. That's an almost tenfold increase in just 2 decades. Also, by 2020, annual ecotourism revenue exceeded 1 billion yuan.
80几年的时候是房子还不够饱，到20年以后，它这经济就猛翻了。
See, Mr. Lee's got his serious face on. He's serious about improving locals' lives. Perhaps a little nervous too.
到2010年，那个人均收入是从以前的2、3千到7、8千，到1万多。
Chongqing's transformation isn't just turning heads locally, it's flexing its eco-friendly muscles on the global stage, landing a well-deserved shout-out at the UN's COP15 in 2021. Take some notes, world.
On the way home, after what feels like a very quick trip, to feel how hot it was on those exposed hills compared to the reforested areas, to experience the hospitality and generosity of the local farmers, gave me this hat here. They say wise people plant trees under the shade of which they'll never sit. I met a lot of very wise people and I got to sit in some very nice shade.
So I hope you've been educated and entertained. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to earn enough carbon credits to offset all the hot air I've expelled from yapping. But that's it, we're done. You can go outside and soak up some natural vibes. And if the vibes are off, go and plant a tree or two. You know what? It's time for that finishing shot. A nice, wide, flying view. And I'll drop that cliche line. Catch you on my next adventure.